Good evening, viewers. We will bring you key developments shaping Africa's political and economic landscape, from agriculture and digital transformation to diplomacy and regional integration. Let us begin in Uganda. Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni received former Ethiopian Prime Minister Mariam Desalegn, who also serves as chairman of the board of the Alliance for Green Revolution in Africa, AGRA, together with this delegation. President Museveni noted that the groups support agricultural transformation through scientific research, improved packaging systems, financing solutions, and policy advocacy aimed at strengthening Africa's farming sector. Discussions focused on key agricultural priorities, including irrigation development, access to improved seed varieties, effective fertilizer use, and strengthening local seed systems. These are aimed at boosting food security and increasing household incomes. On livestock, President Museveni highlighted past challenges where cattle were moved long distances in search of water and pasture, a practice that made disease control difficult and affected productivity. He requested support for research into animal feed to help address the current challenges facing farmers. President Museveni welcomed the continued partnership, emphasizing its importance in supporting Uganda's agricultural transformation agenda. Next, Africa's digital voices are preparing to take center stage in Addis Ababa ahead of a much-awaited of African Social Media Influencers Summit, ASMIS. Draws closer. A stakeholders consultative meeting has set the tone, positioning the event as a strategic continental platform aimed at uniting Africa's digital voices toward strengthened storytelling power and elevated influence in global digital landscape. The Pulse of Africa, POA, and AGATEC joined forces towards realizing the worldwide event of ASMIS a reality as the Africa's diplomatic city of Addis Ababa gears up for receiving the continent's digitally influential voices. Accordingly, POA and AGATEC led the precursor consultation, bringing together key stakeholders to discuss preparations and collaborative support for the successful realization of the ASMIS 2026, scheduled for May 7 to 8 at the Adwa Victoria Memorial Museum in Addis Ababa. Organizers emphasized that the summit is designed to go beyond a conventional gathering, positioning itself as a long-term platform for collaboration among influencers, media institutions, policymakers, and private sector actors across Africa and the diaspora. Deputy CEO of Pulse of Africa, Fitsumshet underscored that Africa's digital transformation presents a historic opportunity to reshape global perceptions. He noted that social media has evolved into a potent arena for the creation, the shaping, and the dissemination of narratives, rendering the voices of Africans indispensable in shaping the global perception of the continent. Fitsumshet stressed that ASMIS 2026 will help amplify authentic African stories, empower digital creators, and strengthen the continent's ability to communicate its realities, achievements, and aspirations on a global scale. Manager of AGA Tech Enterprise, Gemeda Olana, highlighted the growing momentum behind the initiative, noting strong interest demonstrated by influencers across Africa to partake the event. He explained that the summit is focused on promoting responsible digital influence while building a strong and sustainable creator ecosystem. He further stated that the summit aims to enhance collaboration among stakeholders, improve content quality, and support the development of a competitive digital economy driven by innovation and creativity. At the consultative meeting, the participants discussed the issues of partnerships, coordination, communication, strategic leadership, and resource mobilization in detail, as well as the roles that the stakeholders can play in contributing to the success of the upcoming summit. The discussions underscored the importance significance of collective effort in ensuring ASMIS 2026 delivers meaningful and lasting impact. Ultimately, ASMIS 2026 is being framed as a transformative initiative, one that unites Africa's digital voices, strengthens storytelling capacity, and positions the continent as a more influential and active player in the global digital space.
Are you a consumer or a trader or a manufacturer? Where will you be on Monday the 2nd? Save the date. The Made in Ethiopia Expo 2026 opens its doors, your one-stop marketplace for everything industrial, innovative, and proudly local. Discover textiles and leathers, cutting-edge chemicals, precision metalworks, construction tech, and tomorrow's electronics, all under one roof. From raw inputs to finished goods, you will find it all. Taste the delicious local flavors, join lively discussions, forums, cheer at product competitions, and connect with local and international manufacturers. Promote your brand, meet buyers, source where your business needs, or shop for your home. It's opportunity in motion. Join us on May the 2nd to 6th, 2026 at the Addis International Convention Center. Register to exhibit or just come and explore. Don't miss out. Organized by the Ministry of Industry for Universal Sovereignty, Made in Ethiopia.
Welcome back, viewers. You're still watching Pearls of Africa News. Live from Addis Ababa, our story continues. From digital platforms, we now move to diplomacy and global partnerships, where Ethiopia is calling for a unified BRICS vision. Ethiopia has called for stronger coordination and a unified policy direction within BRICS as it deepens its engagement in the bloc, with officials emphasizing the strategic importance of research, dialogue, and people-to-people cooperation. Opening the third BRICS Think Tank Council BTTC Ethiopia Conference, Ambassador Minilik Alemu, Social Policy Advisor to Foreign Affairs Minister, underscored the significance of the forum in shaping collective understanding and aligning policy positions ahead of the upcoming BRICS summit. He noted that the recommendations from the BTTC serve as critical inputs into key outcome documents, including the summit declaration. Ethiopia's accession to BRICS in 2024 was described as a major milestone in its long-standing commitment to multilateral diplomacy.
Ethiopia's BRICS membership is a key milestone in its long history of multilateral diplomacy. It is a mirror reflection of Ethiopia's commitment to a reinvigorated multilateral system and to South-South cooperation. Ethiopia's BRICS membership embodies its foreign policy priority of diversifying its partnerships and tapping into economic opportunities in development finance, technology transfer, and trade. Ethiopia's BRICS membership opens a window of immense opportunities, which requires active participation to translate opportunities into economic fortunes. For Ethiopia, engagement within BRICS processes is of strategic importance.
Ambassador Minilik highlighted that the country's membership reflects its foreign policy priorities, particularly strengthening South-South cooperation and expanding partnerships in development finance, technology transfer, and trade. Since joining the bloc, Ethiopia has taken sustained and concrete steps to actively participate in BRICS initiatives, the ambassador said, adding that the country aims to consolidate its role further during India's 2026 BRICS presidency. He pointed to Ethiopia's recent admission into the New Development Bank as a key achievement, noting that it will significantly improve access to infrastructure financing and enhance country's role in BRICS-led economic cooperation.
Ethiopia has admitted to the New Development Bank. This milestone will significantly enhance our access to development finance for infrastructure development in our country, and strengthen our participation in BRICS-led economic cooperation. Ethiopian institutions have forged closer ties with their BRICS counterparts, and we have made tangible contributions to the BRICS voice on matters of global importance for Ethiopia and the African continent as a whole.
Beyond government engagement, Ambassador Minilik emphasized the importance of the people-to-people pillar of BRICS cooperation, which involves think tanks, civil society, media, business communities, academia, and cultural sectors. He noted that Ethiopian institutions have already begun forging stronger ties with their counterparts across BRICS countries, contributing to policy dialogue and academic collaboration. Platforms such as academic forums and think tanks exchanges were described as essential in producing evidence-based policy recommendations that reflect diverse national experiences.
Allow me to underscore the importance of the BRICS Academic Forum's recommendations. These deliberations, enriched by contributions from scholars, policy experts, and research institutions across BRICS countries, are crucial to shaping well-grounded, balanced, forward-looking policy guidance. Such consultative processes ensure that recommendations are grounded in rigorous analysis, diverse national experiences, and practical realities. They provide a solid, evidence-based intellectual foundation that enhances the credibility, relevance, and effectiveness of BRICS cooperation in addressing complex global challenges.
Ambassador Minilik further called attention to the need for effective communication strategies to promote BRICS engagement and manage public expectations. The two-day conference is organized by the Ethiopian Institute of Foreign Affairs in collaboration with Bahida University. In Southern Africa, Zimbabwe and Botswana strengthened bilateral ties. Presidents Emmerson Mnangagwa and Duma Boko have witnessed the signing of a wide-ranging package of agreements and memoranda of understanding MOUs at the 5th session of the Zimbabwe-Botswana Binational Commission, marking a significant step in strengthening bilateral relations between the two neighboring countries. The agreements span key sectors, including security, trade, aviation, and social development, reflecting a deepening of cooperation between Zimbabwe and Botswana. Among the major outcomes was the adoption of the agreed minutes of the 5th session, setting the framework for enhanced collaboration across multiple sectors. In the area of security, the two nations signed an agreement on defense cooperation and training exchange programs, alongside an MOU on police cooperation targeting livestock theft and other cross-border crimes, a persistent challenge in border community. Further strengthening security and governance collaboration, the countries concluded MOUs on immigration cooperation, prisons and correctional services, and a memorandum of agreement on the transfer of sentenced persons. In aviation, the two sides signed an agreement for the coordination of aeronautical search and rescue services, as well as an MOU on cooperation in civil aircraft accident and serious incident investigations. Moves aim at improving safety and responses coordination in the region. Economic cooperation also featured prominently. In the cultural sector, the countries agreed to cooperate in development of the museum and the African Liberation Flagship Monument, a flagship heritage project aimed at preserving the continent's liberation history. The agreement underscored a shared commitment by Harare and Gaborone to deepen integration, enhance cross-border coordination, and unlock economic opportunities for their citizens. Shifting to this hour's business news, the Malawian government is considering borrowing 120 million USA dollars from the African Export-Import Bank to procure fuel as the country grapples with acute foreign exchange shortages, a senior official said on Tuesday. Minister of Information and Communications Technology, Shadrick Namalomba, who is also the government spokesperson, told local media that the country's fuel reserves has completely dry as the conflict in the Middle East has disrupted global oil supplies, and the Malawian government has no foreign exchange to pay importers for the petroleum products. He said the much-needed $120 million will cater for the procurement of 120 million liters of fuel, a volume of they said will help ease the situation in the country. Long queues of vehicles have become a common sight in filling stations across the country, with residents expecting the fuel to become fully available. On April 1st, the Malawi Energy Regulatory Authority hiked the fuel prices by an average of 35%, saying the Middle East conflict had pushed prices for petrol and diesel to very high levels. On Monday, during the opening of the 2026 tobacco marketing season, Minister of Agriculture, Irrigation and Water Development, Rosa Mbilizi, said the Malawian government is counting on the tobacco market to generate more foreign exchange and strengthen the country's import cover. Meanwhile, Tunisia has unveiled plans to launch a new maritime route aimed at strengthening trade and transport links across the Mediterranean, connecting Italy, Tunisia and Libya. The announcement was made by Tunisia's Transport Minister Rachid Amri during a parliamentary session where he outlined details of the new regional shipping initiative. The planned route will link Italian ports with Tunisia's key maritime up in Rhodes and Zarzis before extending onward to Libya, creating a new corridor for commercial exchange and logistics between the three countries. According to the minister, the service will be operated by an international shipping company and is expected to enhance trade flows and reduce transport costs and improve as well the regional connectivity across North Africa and Southern Europe. In addition to the maritime project, Amri announced that Tunisia national airline Tunis Air will resume direct flights between Tunis and Tripoli in the coming weeks, further restoring air connectivity between the two capitals. The initiatives are part of the broader efforts by Tunisia to strengthen regional integration and expand economic cooperation across the Mediterranean basin.
Are you ready? Every effort, every drop of sweat, proof of determination, a path to victory. Join the Grand Street race hosted by the Ministry of Industry and the Ethiopian Athletics Federation, where industry meets endurance and opportunities are born with every stride. On April 26, Mescal Square will become the heart of movement. Over 800 professional athletes and more than 17,000 runners will race together in the Made in Ethiopia Expo 2026, a celebration of health, unity, and national resilience. This is more than a race, it's a chance to connect manufacturers, raw material suppliers, athletes, and citizens, opening new doors for collaboration and growth. Prizes are grand, the spirit is greater. Space is limited, so register now at the Ethiopian Athletics Federation around Gurdishola, organized by the Ministry of Industry in partnership with the Ethiopian Athletics Federation. Run for your health, run for our future, Ethiopia for universal sovereignty.
And finally, sport news. A high-level meeting is currently underway between officials from the Confederation of African Football, CAF, and representatives of the Pamoja host nations, preparing for the TotalEnergies CAF Africa Cup of Nations 2027. The Pamoja delegation, representing the joint host Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, includes senior government ministers alongside key football leadership figures. The CAF delegation is being led by Acting General Secretary Samson Adamu, who is spearheading discussions focused on preparations for the 2027 tournament. The meeting is expected to address key organizational aspects, including infrastructure development, logistics, hosting standards, and intergovernmental coordination among the three East African nations. This engagement marks another important step in the collaborative efforts under the Pamoja Initiative, a unified hosting model aimed at delivering a successful and historic edition of Africa's premier football competition. With multiple countries co-hosting, CAF is placing strong emphasis on coordination, readiness, and compliance with tournament requirements well ahead of kickoff. That wraps up this hour's Pulse of Africa news. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like and follow our Facebook page, and for the latest headlines, follow us on TikTok. I am Adele. Thank you for joining us.